Good afternoon, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Hughes and Lamb Chop. Today is Thursday. It is June 11th already. We are almost done school. Yep. This online learning from home is almost over for a little break, which is kind of exciting. Today, as Lamb Chop holds a sign, we want to make sure we remember and hear Black Lives Matter, and he's holding the sign to remind us how important it is, okay? So with that being said, today we are working on African mythology and tall tales and folklore. And a couple days ago, I read Anansi the spider. And Anansi is a main hero in African culture. And it started with way back, it's a mythology in a country called Ghana and the Ashanti people. So this is where Ghana is. Let me just show you the picture on the map. Sorry about that. I have the wrong page. Here it is. So here's Africa, and here is Ghana. And that's where the story and the people, Ashanti people, started from. So the name of the story is Why Anansi Has 8 Thin Legs. Are you ready to listen? Okay. Lamb Chop reminding you, put your thinking caps on. Once upon a time, my favorite, a long time ago, there lived a spider named Anansi. Anansi's wife was a very good cook. But always Anansi loved to taste the food of others in the village, made for themselves and for their families. One day, he stopped by Rabbit's house. Rabbit was his good friend. "There are greens in your pot," cried Anansi excitedly. Anansi loved greens. Greens would be like lettuce and celery and spinach and kale. "They are not quite done," said Rabbit, "but they will be soon. Stay and eat with me." "Oh, I would love to, Rabbit, but I have other things to do," Anansi said hurriedly. If he waited at Rabbit's house, Rabbit would certainly have some jobs for him to do. "I know," said Anansi. "I'll spin a web. I'll tie one end on one of my legs and the other to your pot. When the greens are done, just tug and I'll come running." So Anansi is a trickster because he didn't want to stay because he might have to do some work. I think he's could be lazy. Rabbit thought that was a great idea, and so it was done. All right, let me just get the next page. Sorry about that. "I smell beans," Anansi sniffed excitedly as he ambled along. "Delicious beans cooking in a pot." "Come eat our beans with us," said monkeys. "They're almost done." "I would love to, Father Monkey," said Anansi. And again, Anansi suggested he'd spin a web. He would tie one end to the pot and one leg to his leg. Father Monkey thought it was a great idea. All his children did too. And so it was done. "I smell sweet potatoes." Anansi sniffed happily as he ambled along. "Sweet potatoes and honey, I do believe. Oh, yeah." Anansi called his friend Hog. "My pot is full of sweet potatoes and honey. Come share my food with me," said Hog. "I would love to," said Anansi. And again, Anansi suggested that he'd spin a web with one end tied on his leg and one to the sweet potato pot. His friend Hog thought it was a great idea, and so it was done. By the time Anansi arrived at the river, he had one web tied to each of 8 legs. "This was a wonderful idea," Anansi told himself proudly. "I wonder whose pot will be ready first." Just then, Anansi felt a tug on a leg. That's the web string of Rabbit's greens. And now he felt another tug, and another, and he was suddenly pulled in 3 different directions. "Oh dear," said Anansi, and he felt the 4th string web tie. Just then he felt the 5th web string, and the 6th, and the 7th, and the 8th. You guys are right. Anansi was pulled this way and that way. and all of those strings at once. His legs were pulled thinner and thinner. Anansi rolled and he tugged himself into the river. When all the webs had washed away, Anansi pulled himself painfully up on shore. Oh my, sighed Anansi. Perhaps that was not such a good idea at all. I don't think so either. What do you think, boys and girls? To this day, Anansi the spider has 8 thin, very thin legs, and he never got any food at all that day. So what, boys and girls, is the moral or the lesson of this story? Lamb Chop, what do you think? What do you think the message of the story is? Huh? Yeah. He said Anansi has a big appetite. So do I. Do you guys? You like food? But what did Anansi do that was different? He what? He told all 8 friends that he was going to eat with them. And you're right, Lamb Chop. I know, you can't be 8 places at once. And so, what else did he do, though? What do you think? He said he was lazy. Anansi was kind of lazy. He was playing a trick on all those people, Rabbit and Hog, because he didn't want to do any work. He just wanted the food for free. Very interesting, right? And what's the moral of the story? What do you think the lesson is, Lammy? Well, Anansi has 8 legs, and he pulled the string of his webs in different directions. I think the lesson is being greedy. He was greedy. Greedy means he wanted more than he needed to have. He wanted all of it, and he just didn't say no. And in the end, he never got anything because he didn't share, or he didn't just say yes to one person. He kept tricking and wanted more and was never happy. So, boys and girls, the moral and the lesson, I guess, is not to be so greedy. Make sure that there's enough for everybody. And you, too, will not have a thin stomach like Anansi did because the strings of his web tied so tightly. So, boys and girls, I hope you liked the story today. Did you like it, Lamb Chop? Yeah, he liked it because it was about food. I know, I love food. You guys too? But he also liked it because there's a lesson, and the lesson is to make sure you share and not get so greedy. So have a great day. I'll put this guy back because he has his sign that he has to hold. Black Lives Matter. You are correct, boys and girls. Black Lives Matter to everyone, and especially to Anansi the spider. He's a trickster, but he's also a legend in African folktale. Have a great day. Looks like it might be raining out. Just do your best. Love you guys. LCCPS kids, rock it. Bye.